class, but them say, hey, how's it going? All right. All right.
And I sent you,
All right.
oh, sorry. And then I sent you a Word document of the survey also.
Right. So you initially had worked did it in Word, a bunch of revisions, right? And then once we said, okay, this is more or less where we want to be, you put it into Qualtrics, and now you're tweaking it in there. Okay.
Yeah, I tweaked it in there, and then took off another. I mean, I took out some of the questions already, but I added this little piece right here for the purpose of the survey kind of thing,
Okay.
just so that it kind of makes sense a little bit. And then
Yes.
the category of STEM. What is your major? Dr. Nelson suggested that I just have it like, why don't you have a drop-down menu or just something where they select? And I said, okay, well, I can do that. And so we did that, and then we did an other just in case.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a good question. Drop down or a thing like that. I almost prefer something like that because they have to go and take it. In a drop down, I feel like there's more room for random error.
Okay. Okay. Good. So I'll keep it like that then.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then how interested are you in the content of your major? How interested are you in the future profession in STEM? So that was a different wording. And then what is your intended future profession? Just that's our little Qualtrics question right there, right?
Okay, great. So now one comment here for the interest, what you might want to consider is having these horizontal, and that kind of gives them, is it more or less? So if you clicked on that, you could offer them the choice to say not at all, slightly moderate.
Okay, I see. Like more of like the sliding or like the Likert.
Yes.
Thing.
Yes.
And okay.
I mean that's just you could do a quick change if you click on it. I think you have to highlight the question. Yeah. Now see their position vertical or horizontal. Yes, right there. Boom. What do you think if you compare these two?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I just don't know what it would look like on. What is that?
Yeah, you can do.
Labels may cause this question to overflow on small mobile devices.
Yes. So go on. Yeah. Well, that is one thing to consider. If you go down there, further down, preview question. Do you see that little? Yes.
Okay.
That looks pretty clean.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing me I saw the little phone before, but it's not showing me the phone.
It might be that just shows your phone when you do the preview of the total survey.
Okay. Well.
But yeah, so see what it looks like. I think that's a good. And nowadays, a lot of times we got to assume that they'll do it on the phones or tablets.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but a lot of times. So these are going to be undergraduate students, right?
Oh, look! It put it this way still.
Oh, it did. Okay. Yeah, interesting.
So I guess it figured it out that way.
Yeah. Okay. Neat.
Okay. So I can do that. That's easy.
No. But yeah, that's just kind of my personal preference. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, what is your intended future profession? All right, cool.
And then the next block of things is, did you have an inspiring 7th to 12th grade teacher? Yes or no? And then, so if no, it'll skip. But if yes, were they a teacher in a STEM subject?
Okay.
Is the question. And then, do you know someone in terms of K-12? Did you participate in STEM activities? Have you ever participated in a STEM-based internship or research program? And then I got rid of there was a question about, what was it? I just realized it wasn't important. Have you ever shadowed a teacher? Like,
okay.
It's not really, it's like, okay. So I took that one out. And then this is a block that we ask once and then we ask at the end, right? Are you interested in becoming a 7th to 12th grade teacher in a STEM subject? So kind of making it so it's 7th to 12th grade in the STEM, like science, technology,
Yeah.
engineering, math,
Yeah.
which is defined. If no, why aren't you? So there's supposed to be a response there. And then I can change all these to the horizontal.
Well, no, I think I think it's all right. If
For these?
yeah, I mean, if it's gonna stay like that on the mobile phone, anyways, you might want just want to go that route. But
Okay.
let's see. We got interests, knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and then at Fresno State. Okay.
I think these are the ones. No, wait, this isn't it. Where was it? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. How knowledgeable are you of the incentives available? Um, to individuals that want to become teachers in a STEM subject. So just
Mm-hmm.
asking those questions. So these are all the things like, hey, how much do you know about all this stuff, right? And then we'll ask them at the end about these too. So
Right.
this is the pre-test.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay, pretest.
And then did you know that there are incentive programs that support STEM majors? So this is kind of like and then the question, how attractive do you think this would be to students in STEM majors to consider teaching as a profession?
Okay, wait a second. When you're with 18, when you say, did you know that there are incentives?
Uh,
Is here your point that you're telling them, hey, there actually are incentives, or are you just? Let me rephrase it. So, what if you said there are incentives programs available for STEM majors that want to become teachers? Full
uh-huh.
stop. Did you know that? Is
Oh,
this your point, or are you just?
yeah, because we wanted to ask, well, I think what we talked about is we wanted to ask them, like, hey, there's an incentive program where you can get all these things. Did you know that they were available? And then if they, yes or no, depending on either if they said, yes, I knew about it, or no, I didn't, how attractive, like, would you think this is something important? Because the whole purpose is we want to be able to report, hey,
Right,
this
right.
is an important thing for people to know. I think that's what we're trying to do with that question.
Right, but at the same time, you're with that question, you're also trying to inform them. Is this here the piece where you share the information that we talked about?
No, that comes
Oh,
later. That's down
okay,
here.
okay, all right, all right.
It's after that. So this is just more of like, I think this is just like we're asking, hey, did you know about this stuff? Did you know that you can be guaranteed a STEM teaching job after completion of a teacher credential program? And then how attractive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that there are programs available that can pay for some or all of your teaching credential tuition? So I changed that question because I realized that saying that there's stuff that can alleviate the burden of loans wouldn't make sense to a lot of people. So there it is there that can pay for some of it or all of it, depending on what you do with the program, without getting into too many details. And then did you know that there are supports provided to new teachers, such as coaching, optional learning opportunities? And then I had professional learning community, but I realized no one's going to know what that is. That doesn't
Okay.
know teaching. I changed it to regular meetings to collaborate with other teachers, because those are they're like weekly meetings now that I think almost all districts require, where you're working with veteran teachers. And then how attractive do you think that is?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that there are new pathway programs offered in high schools that allow STEM teachers to collaborate with the STEM industry? And then we had this question: have you ever received any information about the teaching program at Fresno State? And so it says, I mean, then you have all these things, right? If you've heard of it.
Okay. So, a quick comment in regards to the setup for the survey. It might be good to, if you scroll up a little bit, right? You have basically these pairs of questions that say, "Hey, do you know about this? Yes or no?" And then, how attractive would this be, right?
Mhm.
What might be helpful for the respondents, if you put those two questions together display them at the same time on the page, and when they answer
Mhm.
these two, boom, they have the next set that shows up. And that would be something that you could test out when you preview it. You could enter some
Okay.
page breaks, boom, boom, and then see. It might help them
To make sure they're grouped together.
the group
Like,
together, and it's kind of like, okay, these two things, boom, boom, and then the next, these two
okay.
things, boom, boom, next.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, again, that will be part of just kind of testing the survey out, how it flows, and with some test people. Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, now just a quick comment on your setup. Right, you have the squared boxes, so it means they can check multiple. Right, it's not just
Yes.
one, but they can check multiple. Okay, great. And then you have the option to other. So there are probably things that you didn't think of or that are extraordinary. So they're there. Yeah, right.
Dr. Bolin wanted to know. She wanted to say, well, maybe you can ask a question about which ones they prefer, but I don't know. I think that's something that you're gonna. That's like a general question for like all students, right?
Yeah,
So I said, okay, thanks, but I'm not going to use that. So then this is just all I did here was Dr. Nelson suggested that you don't need to tell them it's a Likert scale. They don't know what that is. And I said, okay. So I talked to Jorge and he said, and why don't we say in this section, please indicate how much you agree or disagree with the following statements.
Great. Now there's a little trick. What you can do is you see that line. If you hover on that line, you can pull that over a little bit. Yes, right there. Yep.
So it's more like one line.
I would think it helps people, yeah. And then they get less. Well, it depends. You get you get the other one, yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, so that's a theoretical framework where I couldn't remember what I couldn't even think of the name. Job something. I don't know. I can't think of it right now.
Yeah. It's in there somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I don't know. I'll send you my prelims.
Yeah. So now we're entering your information sharing portion, right?
Yeah. So from the following facts, indicate if you are aware of them and how attractive do you think the following facts would be to encourage a STEM major to become a teacher. So did you know that? So these are those things: yes or no, how attractive. And so, and Dr. Nelson said, this is like the most important part of your survey. I said, well, okay, there we go. Yeah, so, so that saying, how attractive do you think this would be? Did you know that the salary, so it said average salary before. And so I just changed it to salary range. And then I just looked up the Fresno Unified one and it's 45 basically is starting to 78. Not including some extra things that come with it. So I just put a year plus benefits because that's
important. It's because it's a pension, right?
Yeah, well, like you get a lot
healthcare.
Of. I mean, it's like you get 78,000, but you actually get 20,000 more, I think, in healthcare and benefits.
So put that in there. That's a huge portion.
Okay.
A year plus about 20,000 in benefits.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I need to look up the exact one, but I know it's a good chunk.
Yeah, I would put that in there because a lot of times, I just spoke with a company last week where they said, "Man, they offer a lot of benefits, but their hourly wage is not as high, right? Mm-hmm. And those are like lower level jobs, but they said we have a hard time hiring people, and now that's what they said is they cut the benefits, which are very generous." And they pay them a little bit more, $1 or $2 more an hour. But that's what people focus on. It's interesting. And then their veteran, the older people, that they understand that, and they see the value of those benefits. So maybe to put a dollar number in there and say, hey, this much is in benefits. That I think.
Okay, I'll see if I can find the information, but I should be able to since we just did that.
Yeah,
whatever the strike thing and everything is over now. So, so let's see. Did you know that Fresno State has a partnership with Fresno Unified that provides tuition and guarantees a job? So he made Dr. Nelson said, shouldn't you say guarantees? Because don't they get a job if they complete the program? And I said, yes, you are correct. So let me put that in there because that's even more attractive. Not, hey, you could get a job if you finish this. You are guaranteed one if you can pass it.
Yes, yes. Good. Yeah.
And then, so there's that. And then block 6 is more about Fresno Unified or Fresno State programs, the teacher residency program. Did you know that coursework is co-taught with university faculty and Fresno Unified staff? How attractive. Did you know that that it offers a $11,000 stipend for program participants? Did you know that Fresno Unified guarantees a teaching? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And maybe I wrote that wrong. So I'm going to check that because I was at 1,500. It might have been 15. So let me check that, but it's somewhere. How attractive? Let's see. Do you think Fresno Unified guarantees a teaching position upon? Did you know that? And that says that. Did you know you can earn a teaching credential and master's degree in education in less than 2 years? This is all through that program. And how attractive would it be? So went through that.
Cool. You know what I'm thinking is, I wonder if there's a better way of, or another way of presenting the questions where it's, well, anyways, you know, in my mind, there's got to be like some kind of way of making it really easy for them to go through these, because they basically always have to say, did you know it? How important would it be? Did you know it? How important would it be, right? Like how might there be a way to reduce cognitive load, just the way that we present the questions? But you know, I'll think of something. We can give, you know what we can do? We can give Qualtrics a call, and I've done that a number of times where I had some kind of idea of how to do it, and then those guys are pretty quick in picking up and you know, thinking about, hey, yeah, this there's a way we can do that, or no. But anyways, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Content-wise, I think this is great. So this is cool.
Okay.
So now we're at the end of your information intervention.
Almost, yeah. Did you know you could earn? Yeah, okay, there. And so now these are other things that are offered through, like, working with Fresno State and Fresno Unified. An intern is a summer boot camp to help prepare. Did you know that Central Valley Partnerships provide you with the opportunity to work the same site? That's something, like, some people think I would think that'd be attractive. Hey, I can get my credential and work at the same site in Madera and not have to go to Fresno State. I can take my classes where I'm doing my student teaching. I think that's.
Okay. Wait a second. Would it be helpful if we actually added somewhere so that you don't have to come to the Fresno State campus? Just to make it 100% clear that, hey, you'll be. Yeah, great.
There. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, right? So you work, and after work you go to your class, and it's right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, did you know you can earn a single subject credential in the following areas? So just kind of so they know. And then, how attractive is that? So I think that's something that they don't realize. Wait, where's that? Oh yeah, good. So we added work as a teacher in a middle school or high school, just so they know what that means. Like a single subject credential, what that means. And then the last block 8 is re-asking those questions again. How interested are you? How knowledgeable are you? Incentives available, and that's it.
Okay, let's double check this again. This is your post test right here, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay. You know what, Scott? The 55, if you're interested or not. Right now it's binary, yes, no. Are you, because you're expecting to see some movement there as well, right?
Hopefully.
So why don't
that's
we?
why I added this part right here. Just be like, hey, you heard about some other stuff. Consider these questions again, basically.
All right. Why don't we make the 55 about their interest, instead of asking yes, no, to say, you know, from from 0 to 10, how interested are you in becoming a, you know what I mean? If they give an answer on a spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
and they might be at a, they might be at a 0. I'm not interested.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of all this information, it'd be, hey, might give it a 2. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Versus, I mean, it's a pretty big. See, I don't. Again, we might have to ask, like, what is I mean, I could be interested, but still not really want to do it.
Right.
So when you hear I guess what do you mean by interested?
Like, would you consider it, like, basically, like,
Would you
based off of
consider?
it?
Okay.
Is it something that maybe you consider as a viable option for yourself that maybe you didn't before?
So I really like what you said. A viable option.
Mm.
Because right, this is you if I'm wanting, we talked about this quite a bit, right? If I'm a STEM major and I'm planning to go work for Google,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna. Right now I don't want to be a teacher. And I'm going, no, I'm not interested. No. But
Right.
if you ask me, would it be? I could still think that it's a viable option, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we ask them at the beginning? Hey, is being a 7th to 12th grade teacher in a STEM subject a viable career option for you?
Mm-hmm.
And they could say, on a spectrum, yes, or you could even say yes or no,
Mm-hmm.
and then ask them
Instead of
this
this
again.
question. Instead of
Your
this
word,
question.
yeah, I think.
So changing this question.
Yes, because so there's 2 things. Let me see. Oh, no, and then you go further down. You're like, how interested are you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think we only need. Okay, can you go a little bit further down?
Up or down?
No, down. Yeah. Okay, descend. Boom, boom, boom. Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. All right. That's it. Yes, I think. Did you ask that if you can scoot up a little bit? Did you ask the one, how interested are you? Extremely interested, moderately? Did you ask that earlier as well?
Yes.
Yes,
All
it's
these
twice.
so these questions 55 to the end, they're all asked at the beginning.
Oh, okay. All right,
They're
cool.
all asked up here. How
All right. So
let's see, where is it? Are you
uh,
interested? So
yes,
this is the
cool.
beginning. So those were our 5 questions at the beginning, and then there are the 5
Yes.
questions at the end.
Okay, so let's go up one more. Okay. So what difference do you see between
Oh wait,
Q14 and Q?
maybe I added something in wrong, huh? Wait.
Oh, no, but what?
Yeah.
But do you want to? What difference did you feel is? Oh, I see what you're doing. You're just asking if they're not interested, you want to know why they're not interested. And then if they are interested, you want to know how interested are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I see what you do. Okay, how about we add one more? If they say what you said earlier, is it a viable option? Where they don't have to say, right? I might come away from this and go to a buddy and say, hey, you know what? Teaching is really neat, man. Do you know all these benefits these guys have? Or it's really neat. They get to do all this stuff. I still might want to go work for Google, right? But it might now be a more viable option.
And teaching in a STEM
Yeah, I actually, yeah. Yeah, you gotta be consistent. Good job with your wording. I think you
So, oh, they just gave me some choices there.
yeah,
So I could keep it like that if you like those, and then I can copy it and put it. That could be the last question
yeah.
on the. Because this is the beginning, right? So we ask all these. Are you interested? Do you think? How knowledgeable are you? And then we ask, do you think teaching in a STEM subject at the 7th to 12th grade level is a viable option for you as a STEM major? And then I can ask that as the final question also.
Yes, I think that's good.
Perfect.
All right, done.
Okay.
Now
So,
next, yeah.
so I was going to say, so do you want me to send this to Dr. Nelson and have him take it since you said he was willing to do that? Maybe see if he
Oh,
has any more ideas of how we can cut it down a little bit more, or do you think we're good with that?
I would definitely, since he's offered, I would definitely take him up on the offer.
Yeah.
My question is, should we run it by some? So I think there's two people need to. Nelson can test it, but then we need to test it with some people that are very similar to the students that are actually going to fill it out. So it might even be if you have some seniors in high school. What do you think? Would they be similar enough?